We did the top 10 SMGs in the last video, and we're going to do the top 10 ARs this time. Before we start, the stats are related to the first build if there are multiple builds. And like for the top 10 SMGs video, we're only including 10 weapons and no more. Now that we're all set, grab a snack and enjoy the video. While writing the script, we noticed that a lot of great ARs are missing, and this is because of the top 10 format where we only include 10 weapons, and also because there's a lot of weapons in the AR category and most of them are balanced. So here's a quick list of honorable mentions that are obviously good weapons but didn't fit in the video. Type 19, Krig 6, Grau 556, AK117, Peacekeeper, ASM-10, M13, which got buffed by the way, M16, and we also decided not to put the FFAR, which is close to SMGs in terms of playstyle, to include more usual ARs. Now at number 10, we have the Odin, and exactly like the CX9 Burst, the SKS or XPR, I'm putting it last only because it's really different from the rest of the weapons on the list. We didn't talk about it in the last 2 months because it was glitched and it was possible to have a 100% accurate bullet spread accuracy if you used a certain combination of attachments. And since we don't really rely on glitch abuse, we didn't want to promote the Odin. Now that this has been fixed, what is the Odin? Well, it's a really slow fire rate full auto assault rifle. In fact, it has the slowest fire rate in the game for full auto outside of pistols. The slow fire rate might be an obstacle for beginner players, but for more advanced players, it won't be. And thanks to the incredible fire rate, the gun is super competitive because it is how people like to call it, a full auto SKS. In the first range, which goes up to 29 meters, if you're able to hit the chest or arms, you'll get a 2-shot kill. And in the second range, which goes up to 45 meters, if you're able to land one chest shot followed by one arm shot, you'll also get a 2-shot kill. After 45 meters, you can't kill within 2 shots anymore unless you hit the head twice, which is highly unlikely. The gun, apart from the time to kill and the range, isn't interesting at all. It is slow. The recoil pattern, even if it looks crazy in the stats menu, isn't hard to control because you have to remember that between each shot, more than a tenth of a second is passing. The flinch is low, but the BSA, even if it seems crazy, isn't an issue. But here's the Gunsmith for the Odin. I really recommend you to try it out if you're a main AR player and like to hold lines. At the 9th spot on the list, we have the Kilo 141. Well, we had to decide between the Krig and the Kilo, and since the Krig 6 is only really worth it if you have the Mythic, we're going with the Kilo. So the Kilo is a classic AR, usually misjudged as a main AR since the 2023 World Championship because of the famous Tectonic Kilo build, which is this one. But actually, as a main AR, it is what we can call a garbage weapon. Instead, it is a really strong classic AR. It has 33 meters of consistent 4-shot kill and 55 meters of consistent 5-shot kill. In the first range, which goes up to 23 meters, if you're able to hit one chest and one headshot, you'll get a 3-shot kill, which surprisingly enough happens quite often. Now the Kilo has other tricks under its sleeve. It has a 50-round mag with an SMG-like reload speed with 1.3 seconds of reload time. The mobility is also quite quick with 6 meters per second of sprint paired with 3.5 meters per second of strafe speed. The ADS speed is nice with 250 milliseconds. The BSA is pretty decent too. The flinch and recoil are also pretty fine for a classic AR. Overall, it's like the Bison. It doesn't have any big flaws. Some ARs are just better than this one. Here's the Gunsmith for the Kilo. At the number 8 spot, we have the LK24. The LK24, even though it got nerfed, it is still a really strong main AR, and for a reference, it smacks down a Tectonic Kilo without breaking a sweat. We decided to build it in a way where you only play passive, because if you want to play a bit more flex, a KN44 would be just far better. With the build, it has 60 meters of 4-shot kill range, which gives it 285 milliseconds of time to kill, and in the first range, which goes up to 40 meters, if you're able to hit one headshot, followed by arms or chest shots, you'll get a 3-shot kill. The BSA is deadly accurate, the recoil is super easy to control, and to add to that, the LK24 barely has any flinch. The weapon is obviously overall slower than a tank with no chains, and it carries a 50-round magazine which you can reload quite quickly with 1.3 seconds of reload time. Here's the Gunsmith for the LK24. At the 7th spot, we have the KN44. It's the sister of LK24. It has a similar range, even though we didn't use as much range boost attachments. The hitbox is also the same for the 3-tap potential. But where the KN44 shines compared to the LK is that it maintains all these stats, and in addition, it has fairly good mobility with 3.1 meters per second of strafe and 6.2 meters per second of sprint. The ADS speed is a bit on the slow side with 280 milliseconds. The mag size is fine with 44 bullets, but the reload speed is quite slow with 1.5 seconds. One little tip if you're familiar with it, don't do long sprays, try to only spray for 15 bullets at a time. Here's the Gunsmith for the KN-44. You can also use the same build on the LK-24 if you want to play it in a more flex way. At the number 6 spot, we have the Burger King 57, also known as the BK-57. Technically, it is a Kilo V2, but it's better. It has a similar range to the Kilo, with a way better 3-tap potential in its first range, and more than 15 meters of 5-shot potential if you're able to hit 2 chests or 1 headshot. It has a slightly smaller mag with only 40 bullets, but the overall behavior of the gun is just way better. The mobility is a bit on the slow side with 3.2 meters per second of strafe and 6.1 meters per second of sprint, but it's fine honestly. Here's the Gunsmith build for the BK-57. At the 5th spot on the list, we have the Man of War, which is, apart from the Odin, the best main AR in the game right now. It has 31 meters of 3-tap range, 59 meters of 4-tap range with a 3-shot potential if you hit 1 single headshot. It has a very low recoil, pretty much no flinch, and a deadly accurate BSA, even better than what we have on the LK-24 with a main AR oriented build. Meanwhile, here we don't necessarily have a main AR oriented build, and this is what allows us to maintain a decent ADS time, and for all of the movement speed, the base stats are too low anyway. Here's the Gunsmith for the Man of War. You can also use the thermite ammo with the same build. At the 4th place, we have the DRH. In the flex 3-tap, it's the one that is most optimized for top players because the time to kill is the fastest, even though it's not by much. To get a 3-shot kill, you need to get these hitboxes. First and second range, which goes up to 24 meters, 1 shot in the chest, arms or head. Third range, which goes up to 30 meters, 1 headshot or 2 shots in the chest or upper arms. It's not necessarily easy to achieve, but for advanced players that probably won't be a big issue. The mobility is honestly on the slow side compared to the EM2 or AK-47, but the recoil is fairly easy to control and the flinch isn't that high either. Here are the 2 gunsmiths for the DRH, the first one with less range but a better mobility, and the second one the inverse. At the last place of the podium, we have the AK-47. It has 29 meters of 3-shot kill range if you're able to hit the chest or arms or head once. It has, unlike the DRH, a 2-shot potential in the head in the first range, and after the first range, it maintains a 4-shot kill capability up to 43 meters. The mobility is better than on the DRH with 3 meters per second of strafe speed, the ADS time is the same with about 280 milliseconds, and the sprint speed the same with about 6.15 meters per second. But the AK-47 has a way smoother recoil pattern, making it easier to exploit for newer players, a larger mag with 50 bullets, and the BSA and flinch are pretty much the same on the DRH and the AK-47. So pretty much all the stats are in favor of the AK-47, except the time to kill, which is 10 milliseconds slower on the AK-47 for a 3-shot kill. And to be honest, unless you're a professional player, this small advantage is not gonna make any difference except maybe once in a decade, only if it's a full moon and you're playing underwater. Here's the gunsmith for the AK-47. In second place, we have the EM2. It's the best 3-tap weapon in the game right now, without a doubt, and it is, even if you don't have any skin on it, and even if you have to play with the red dot. It has a recoil as smooth as on the AK-47, a BSA that's accurate enough, the lowest flinch among the DRH and AK-47, the fastest strafe, and the best damage in range. It is the only one that can 3-tap even if you hit only leg shots in its first range, which goes up to 20 meters. And in the second range, which goes up to 37 meters, you just need to aim around the chest and the arms region, and you'll get a 3-shot kill super easily. It has a medium mag size with 40 bullets, and apart from these stats, nothing is really different from the rest, except 2 little things. First, it has bullet velocity, but it's fast enough to not be an issue before 53 meters, and it has a slower fire rate than the DRH, again giving us a 3-shot kill time to kill of 224 milliseconds instead of 220 milliseconds for the AK-47 and 210 milliseconds for the DRH. And again, this difference isn't gonna change anything for everyone except the best players in the game. Here are the 2 gunsmith builds for the EM2. And obviously, at the number 1 place, we have the HVK-30, 29 meters of consistent 4-shot kill, infinite 5-shot kill, 1 headshot equals reducing by 1 the amount of shot you need to get the kill at all ranges. In the first range, which goes up to 18 meters, there is a very easy way to achieve a 3-shot kill. It can 2-tap in the head, and yet you might say that this seems close to other ARs we've talked about. But HVK-30 does that while maintaining a crazy good mobility, 240 milliseconds of ADS time, 3.6 meters per second of strafe speed, 6.4 meters per second of sprint speed, 1.3 seconds of reload time, which is welcome since the mag can only carry 28 bullets at once. The flinch is also really low with only about 0.6, and the BSA is accurate enough to exploit the gun at all ranges. Here's the Gunsmith for the HVK-30. Haven't seen the top 10 weapons for Season 5? Click here to get the best build.